Luana Ephraim. I am the Program Assistant in the Office of Economic Development and Community Engagement at APLU. I want to say thank you to everybody who has joined us this afternoon. We are going to give folks exactly 1 minute to get settled, and we are going to turn to our host, Jorge Achilles from West Virginia University, to kick us off through this event. So again, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to give folks 1 minute to get settled, and then we will kick it off with Jorge Achilles, our host from West Virginia University, and celebrate all the great community engaged scholarships that we are going to be looking at this afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Well, good afternoon and welcome, Engagement Scholarship Consortium attendees, award recipients, and guests to the presentation of the 2020 W.K. Kellogg Foundation Community Engagement Scholarship Awards. As Mylan said, my name is Jorge Achilles. I am Dean of Extension and Engagement at West Virginia University, and today I will serve as the MC for this awards presentation. As you can see, I got all, dressed up for the occasion. You can never miss a party, and this is a great party to celebrate engagement. After 20 plus years since APLU brought together a set of presidents to rethink the future of the land-grant and public universities, and we resurface engagement. So community engagement is critical and important to what we all do. Since 2006, the Association of Public Land-Grant Universities, APLU, and the Engagement Scholarship Consortium, ESC, have partnered to acknowledge the outstanding community university engagement scholarship work of 4-year public universities. The W.K. Kellogg Foundation Community Engagement Scholarship Awards recognize universities that have redesigned their learning, discovery, and engagement missions to develop deep and enduring mutually beneficial partnerships with their communities. Before we proceed today, I would like to acknowledge the ESC Board of Directors who serve as the 2020 Kellogg Award Selection Committee by reviewing and judging the many applications we received. And many thanks to APLU Mylan Ephraim for her coordination of this selection process. Thank you, one more time. This year, we honor 4 universities selected as recipients of the W.K. Kellogg Foundation Community Engagement Scholarship Award. As we will see in this upcoming video, the recipients represent a multitude of ways in which scholars and university partners with communities to try to co-generate, working together, find new solutions and new knowledge. Let's take a look. This is when the video is supposed to happen, so.
You're absolutely right, and it is just the story of my life that is actually not up. I'm gonna start playing it right now.
All right.
Life Sports is a university-wide initiative, and our whole mission is around preparing youth for life and leadership through sport. And we focus in particularly on young people who are most socially vulnerable.
This incubator called Life Sports allows us to identify talents and skills within this youth environment that goes undetected. But when we can identify it and help them see it and then inspire it, it gives them a chance.
I grew up as a camper, and that led into me becoming a youth leader and then a counselor. Each role that I was put into allowed me to mature and bring on that leadership role that has led me to where I am today.
It's the dedication of staff that really puts endless hours into it. It's not just a summer program that they look at, it's year-round.
And we co-create, co-design what it is we do within Life Sports here on campus and out in the community.
Dawn Anderson Butcher and her partners in Life Sports have done an incredible job over the years, not just of conducting programs that matter to youth and create positive youth development, but publishing in those areas. That's really important because it provides a standard for that area of scholarship.
over probably 10 different students who have graduated with PhDs who are now in academic institutions all across the country, where they now are leading sport-based youth development initiatives similar to Life Sports.
My experience at Life Sports really taught me that you can couple service and outreach in the community with really good teaching and practice experience, and then also use research as a tool for advocacy. Those three ingredients together make Life Sports really special.
And I think it's just the continuation of us being connected through our community. Without that, we could not do what we do, and it's a great partnership that we have together.
The University of Memphis Institute of Interdisciplinary Memphis Partnerships to Advance Community Transformation, also known as iMPACT, recognizes the need to address issues of childhood trauma and improve families' access to supportive services that improve health. iMPACT harnessed the university's research capacity and developed a set of programs and services that address a wide range of health and socioeconomic issues facing local families. These projects have worked to address childhood asthma, expand access to autism services, support young children's social-emotional development, improve parenting skills, respond to families' medical and legal needs, and connect families to community resources. iMPACT's mission is to provide university engagement with the Memphis and Shelby County community toward improved and equitable health and education outcomes for children and families, and to increase capacity of the systems that support them. iMPACT's programs include the ACES Curriculum Integration, or ACI, Autism Behavior and Communications Program, or ABC, Coordinated Effort to Enhance Development, or SEED, the Lifelong Initiative for Family Empowerment, or LIFE, the Institute for Health Policy and Law Lab, or iHealth, the Medical Legal Partnership, or MLP, the Pediatric Asthma Management Program, or PAM, and the Pregnant Moms Empowerment Program, or PMEP. iMPACT is conducting a comprehensive evaluation that identifies common factors among families and explores the collective impact across the various iMPACT projects. It is designed to show the impact these programs have on children and their families, identify program strengths and opportunities for improvements.
So University Neighborhood Partners started as the University of Utah wanting to focus on engaging underserved communities, but also they recognized the lack of representation of diverse populations and students from the West Side. So as a result, Irene Fisher to do a one-year survey, focus groups, hundreds of interviews, and as a result of all that feedback, the university made a commitment to establish an office in the West Side.
UNP works by building partnerships between University of Utah faculty and staff and students with community organizations and families and individuals. And so they build those partnerships to help meet the needs of people on the west side of Salt Lake City and kind of across Salt Lake County.
UNP's impact has been enormous, and you could see that directly in the community, actually seeing young people that have been involved in these partnerships now attending the university. So the impact has been tremendous in terms of seeing this pipeline happening from the community into the university.
On any given day, UNP staff is working with faculty and students in their teaching or in their learning or in their research on individual projects. At the same time, every day, staff from UNP is working to create institutional structures at the university that allow for this change to happen continually over time. It's shifting the culture of the university. The signs of impact can be seen in the generational impact of families.
Empowerment is about the redistribution of power. And through partnerships and relationships, I believe that UNP is successful at empowering partners and communities.
Until Connecting Culture started reaching out to the new American community, we didn't have a tailored service to meet our need. I can say without mistake that this is the first organization that tailored their services to meet the need of the new American.
Connecting Cultures is a program specifically designed for refugees and new Americans, and it started out as a mental health program. And we start with what's important to you. What's important to you, because we believe that the more that we can build someone's strengths, the less that they struggle with anxiety and depression and some of the really intense, challenging emotions that come with some of the experiences.
Someone from Somalia might have lived different experience than someone from Bhutan. And having a group that would always first listen, know the culture, and tailor their service to meet those needs has always been helpful to us and to the community we are working with.
I think it's important to provide mental health services. However, I think it's very important to start with the fact that these are remarkable people and that the resilience and strength is really what shines through. So the students really learn you really can't just do research on people, you have to do research with people.
You know, Karen for us is it's not just a partner, it's like a mentor for all of us. Some people will come completely burned out, but after a few months or a few years, you will see that they said, now I'm feeling better. I want to go back to work, I want to help my family. Without doubt, say that this has been a positive experience.
All right. Well, fantastic presentation of the different projects that are being celebrated today. As many of you know, these 4 universities are really competing with each other for the C. Peter McGraw Community Engagement Scholarship Award, which will be celebrated later on this year. But right now, they are a phenomenal example of how should we engage as a university with communities around us. In a week that should not pass invisibly, it's a National Diversity Week. It's amazing to see how each of these projects deals with diversity, with the country as we are right now, whether it's through sports, preparing the next generation, whether it's through trying to combat trauma and helping our youth and our families be able to cope, whether it's trying to really advance other ways to understand immigrant-related issues, and many more things that are critically important for our neighborhoods, such as what is being done out west in Utah. These are examples that we should think about. They have a relationship with students, many of them. They're involving students in service learning, and they're realizing that research has to be done with, not to. They're figuring out what is the input of the neighborhood, of the community in this whole process. So I wish each of you the best of luck as you compete for the McGraw Award. And now, we look forward to hearing from them a little bit later. So in addition to these regional recipients, each year, the W.K. Kellogg Foundation Community Engagement Scholarship Award Program also recognizes a select number of institutional nominees for their outstanding engagement with communities. This year, 4 institutions will be recognized for their exemplary projects. And when named, I ask that the representative give a brief statement. So let's go with the first one. Our first exemplary project is the Purdue Improved Crop Storage. It's a program from Purdue University, naturally, and Dieudonné Baributsa will accept this distinction. Dieudonné?
Thank you, Jorge. And I would like to thank the judges for selecting the Purdue Improved Crop Storage picks for the Exemplary Project Award. This project has engaged more than 7 million farmers in 25 countries in sub-Saharan Africa in storing their grain without using chemicals. So I'd like to say many thanks to those who have contributed to this success, including the PICS team. Those are including faculty, staff members, and students at Purdue University as well as in Africa. I would like also to thank smallholder farmers in Africa, some NGOs, including Catholic Relief Services, Sasakawa Global 2000 in Ethiopia, and also some research centers, such as IITA in Nigeria and ECP in Kenya. I also would like to acknowledge the African governments through their research and extension services for facilitating the engagement with farmers. Also, last but not least, I would like to thank the Gates Foundation and USAID for their financial contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dieudonné. Fantastic project. When I read about it, I was really excited for the difference that you guys are making. It's unbelievable. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our second exemplary project is the UCLA $1 Million Hoods, a program for the University of California, Los Angeles. And Danielle Dupuy will accept this distinction. Danielle?
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Danielle Dupuy. I'm the Executive Director of $1 Million Hoods at UCLA. On behalf of our founding director, Kelly Lytle Hernandez, and the entire $1 Million Hoods team, I'd like to express our sincerest gratitude to the ESC board and entire team for this award and honor. At $1 Million Hoods, we document and map the fiscal and human costs of policing and incarceration with a specific focus on Los Angeles. We leverage the resources of the university in service of and in collaboration with the Los Angeles community and people directly impacted by policing and incarceration. Since 2016, our team has worked tirelessly to produce academic quality research that benefits the decarceration movement and that pushes us to end mass incarceration. Our reports driven by the community have had an enormous impact in LA. The work of MDH is especially relevant at this time, and we are motivated by this acknowledgement of our work and appreciate the national platform where we can hopefully inspire other universities around the country to conduct similar efforts in their own communities. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Danielle. Your project as well is phenomenal. With the long history that LA has in dealing with this very critical issue, it's good to see universities engaging with communities to try to find a way out of this humongous problem. Thank you once again. Well, our third exemplary project is the Kentucky Racing Health Services Center for the University of Louisville. And Deidre Hayden will accept this distinction. Deidre?
Hi everybody. It's an honor to accept this exemplar recognition from the J.W. Kellogg Foundation. I'd like to recognize on behalf of my nurse practitioner team, Krista Roach, Dr. Karen Turner, and Dr. Bacha, and the Kentucky Racing Health Services Center. I think it's especially important to recognize our community partner, which is the Kentucky Racing Health Services Center, especially the executive director, Mr. Richard Rydell. So his commitment to community engagement, support, and partnership inspire us to provide exceptional primary care services to our at-risk population at Churchill Downs. I would also like to thank our university partners from the Schools of Nursing, Dental, and Latin American Latino Studies, and also Dr. Vicki Hines Martin, our Associate Dean, and Henry Cunningham, our VP, from the Office of Community Engagement and Diversity Inclusion at the university. So without their support, we couldn't continue to provide the service. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deidre. I was fascinated by learning about how you guys are taking an interesting approach to working with uninsured backside workers, and what you're doing is phenomenal. Thank you once again, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, our final exemplary project is Pioneering Partnerships, mobilizing autism services in rural communities, from my alma mater, Regina Polytechnic Institute and State University. So Dr. Angela Scarpa will accept this distinction. Angela?
Thank you so much for that introduction. It's my honor to accept this recognition as an exemplary program on behalf of the Virginia Tech Autism Clinic and Center for Autism Research. We strive to serve as an example of how Virginia Tech, your alma mater, lives out its responsibilities as a senior land-grant institution, committed to teaching and learning, research and discovery, and outreach and engagement. Our mobile autism clinic, which hopefully you see behind me, has collaborated with the community to help build mutual capacity and deliver crucial services to underserved populations in rural Southwest Virginia, to reduce rural disparities in accessing the care that they need. We gratefully receive this recognition today on behalf of the families and individuals we serve. We celebrate the work of our community partners, Mount Rogers Community Services and CA Human Services, and applaud the efforts of all the VT faculty and students engaged in this effort. I offer my congratulations to all the programs being recognized today, and thank you to the Engagement Scholarship Consortium and Association of Public and Land-Grant Universities for this special recognition. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Angela, and congratulations to each of you. All four of you are also examples of dealing with a diversity of issues and actually not forgetting those who need us most as public universities. So thank you in your case, Angela, for taking the services that are needed in parts of the state that don't have access. So that's critically important. Now, thank you, Purdue University, the University of California, Los Angeles, the University of Louisville, and Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University for your exemplary work with communities. We applaud your efforts, and this actually literally do that. All right, at this time, I will turn it over to Sheila Martin, Vice President of Economic Development and Community Engagement at APLU. Sheila?
Thank you, Jorge, and congratulations to all of our Kellogg Award recipients and to our colleagues recognized for exemplary projects. You know, a day like this just really does so much to remind us of why we do our hard work every day. And I can't think of a better way to spend an afternoon during this turbulent time than to be reminded of and to celebrate all of this great work. Now, before we speak to our Kellogg Award recipients, I want to be sure that the audience knows, I want to remind them what Jorge told us a little bit earlier, which is that these Kellogg Award recipients are also the finalists for the National C. Peter McGraw Community Engagement Scholarship Award, named after Dr. McGraw, who served as APLU's president from 1992 to 2005. The McGraw Award will be presented at the virtual APLU annual meeting, November 9th through 11th. The winner of the McGraw Award will receive a $20,000 grand prize to continue the great community-based work that they're undertaking. So I want to just take a moment to recognize the 2020 McGraw Award Selection Committee, which includes the selection chair, Catherine McComas, Vice Provost for Engagement and Land Grant Affairs at Cornell University, Bert Bargerstock, President of the Academy of Community Engagement Scholarship, Community Partner Amanda Lightsey, Executive Director of Tuscaloosa's One Place, Samori Pruitt, President of the Engagement Scholarship Consortium and Vice President for Community Affairs at the University of Alabama. And finally, Chad Wooten, Vice Chair for Community Engagement of APLU's Commission on Economic and Community Engagement and Associate Vice President for External Affairs at Texas A&M University. Thank you all in advance for the difficult job that you're going to have choosing the McGraw winner from this amazing group of finalists. So now back to you, Jorge.
Thank you, Sheila. Really appreciate it. And now on to speaking with our Kellogg winners. A representative from each institution will make a brief statement about their award-winning community engagement, as I call their names. Our first Kellogg Award recipient is The Ohio State University for its Learning in Fitness and Education through Sports initiative. And representing Ohio State is Dr. Jerome Davis.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. On behalf of the Ohio State University, the 8,000 campers and 2,000 college students who have been a part of our program, we wish to thank the Association of Public and Land Grant Universities and the Selection Committee for choosing us as a regional winner of the 2020 WK Kellogg Foundation Community Engagement Scholarship Award. Knowing the number of universities in our region and the tremendous work being done in their communities, we are honored to have been selected. Like any true collaboration, we have a long list of folks to recognize. We would first like to thank the President's Office for nominating us. At Ohio State, our strategic plan focuses on teaching, learning, and research to ultimately positively impact our community. There are countless programs across our campus of 60,000+ students supporting this mission, and we are grateful to represent our institution. Secondly, we'd like to thank Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director. Gene said yes when many others in his position might have said no. In 2007, federal funding was eliminated for the National Youth Sports Program. We could have easily ended this program. Instead, Gene challenged me to take our campus NYSP and rebrand it. We both knew we needed to engage more departments on campus and be data-driven. This challenge led me to the Dean of the College of Social Work, Tom Gregoire. Tom has been instrumental in guiding us over the years. We are forever thankful for his leadership and ability to connect those with similar passions. Tom's guidance led me to Dawn Anderson Butcher, a faculty member in the College of Social Work who has spent her career researching positive youth development. Combined with a deep passion for sport, her love of this program runs deep. She tells our story to any person in the country who will listen and will find a reason for that individual to support us or work with us moving forward. Within the College of Social Work, Becky Wade Minavani joined us in this new venture. Her passion for sport and, more importantly, kids created the heart our program needed. Whatever a child needs within our program or the community, Becky will find that answer. The three of us utilize our strengths and resources to create now what is Life Sports. But our work is only possible with the support and tireless effort of our dedicated staff. This work award is a true testament to their work over the years, including our current staff of Stephen Moore, Caitlin Ramsey, Sarah Henderson, Noelle Britt, Angelique Dean, Taylor Browerman, Julie Fletcher, Cassie Bernard, and Bree Lipscomb. And also all the past staff members that include Luke O'Quinn, Samantha Bates, Allie Riley, John Bugner, and Katie Getz. I would like to thank the many more Ohio State departments and community partners and people that have supported us through the last 12 years. I'd like to thank the Office of Student Life, Department of Recreation and Sports, specifically Kathleen Hatch and Dave D'Angelo. They provide all the facilities on campus for our 600 kids each summer and have been a partner with us since it was a National Youth Sports Program in 1968. The Office of Outreach and Engagement, who provided us with early seed grant money, thanks to Stephen Myers, and now we are grateful Ryan Schmeising has continued in his footsteps. The Office of Extension and 4-H, led by Kirk Bloor and Julie Fox, who provide funding for our full-time staff and youth leadership program, the College of Nursing, and the College of Dentistry. I'd like to thank our community partners who help further our impact, the Adam H. Board of Franklin County, Lindy Infante Foundation, Columbus Recreation Parks, Columbus Metropolitan Housing Authority, and Urban Strategies, our corporate partners, Cardinal Health, Pitney Bowes, and Huntington National Bank. And finally, I'd like to thank our advisory council and special shout outs to Chrissy Diker, Tom Katzenmeyer, Debbie Pfeiffer, Michael Childs, and TJ Shelton, who have been with us since the very beginning. Once again, thanks again, APLU staff and the selection committee for this award. Thank you, Jorge.
Thank you very much, Jerome, and congratulations, neighbor. We look forward to learning more about the successes of your program and see if this could be replicated in other parts of our nation. So thank you once again and congratulations. Our second Kellogg Award recipient is the University of Memphis for its Institute of Interdisciplinary Memphis Partnerships to advance community transformation. Representing University of Memphis is Teresa Franklin.
Thank you, Jorge. Hi, my name is Teresa Franklin. I am iMpact Executive Director. I bring you greetings from the University of Memphis, where we are driven by doing. I'm extremely humbled to accept the Kellogg Award on behalf of the Institute of Interdisciplinary Memphis Partnerships to Advance Community Transformation, also known as iMpact. At the University of Memphis, driven by doing is not just our slogan. For me as a social worker, driven by doing means making a difference in what you making a difference. And you will see that we make a difference with every single day with amongst our faculty, staff, and students at the University of Memphis. Making a difference in the lives of children and families in the city of Memphis is what iMpact was designed to do. We recognize the need to address the issues of childhood trauma and improve families' access to supportive services. We harness the university's research capacity and our families' access. We harness the university's research capacity, our students' desire for applied experiences, and we also enlisted the guidance of community leaders and developed a set of programs and services that would meet the needs of the families that we serve and also serve our community. I would like to offer my sincerest gratitude to the judges and their team for taking the special attention to review the application submissions and determine the 4 regional winners, which I'm sure was not an easy task based on the exemplary projects that are represented here today. I'm truly pleased to work with a group of faculty who lead the iMpact projects and would like to take a moment to recognize each of them. Dr. Deborah Bartelli, Dr. Laura Casey, Dr. Susan Elswick, Dr. Catherine Howell, Dr. James Mindel, Professor Catherine Ramsey, Dr. Loretta Rudd, Dr. Gregory Washington, and Dr. Lynn Zahn. My acceptance of this award would not be complete without taking time to recognize our community partners, which include the Urban Child Institute, Agape Child and Family Services, Porter Leaf, Shelby County Schools, Lambano Children's Hospital, Memphis Area Legal Services, Goodwill Homes, Neighborhood Christian Center, and Knowledge Quest. Finally, I would like to thank the members of our Community Advisory Committee and also our Executive Committee. In closing, I would like to ask each of you to consider the valuable lessons that 2020 has offered us thus far. This year has taught us that our environment is changing before our very eyes. Our climate is changing. Our global economy is changing. The distribution of income, health, and wealth is changing. The demographics of our country is changing. Many of our most cherished and basic values are under attack. The onset of the pandemic has changed the way that we worked, changed the way that we interacted and related with each other, and made us reevaluate what is truly important to each of us. My challenge to each of you today is to continue to be driven by doing, to be driven to make a difference in your home communities and imagine what impact that you can have. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa, so much. And thank you for the passion that you bring to your presentation today. The video depicting your program was, heartwarming. I mean, how can you not love those kids and their families? And it's sad to think that they have gone through trauma, but we are so happy to know that you're doing something about it. And we hope that we all can learn from that experience. Thank you once again, and congratulations, Teresa.
Thank you.
Our third Kellogg Award recipient is the University of Utah for its program entitled University Neighborhood Partners. Representing the University of Utah is Abdulkhalik Barbar. Abdulkhalik?
Thank you, Jorge. Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor and privilege to be a recipient of the 2020 W.K. Kellogg Foundation Community Engagement Scholarship Award, and to be one of the finalists for the 2020 C. Peter McGraw Community Engagement Scholarship Award. On behalf of University Neighborhood Partners and all of our stakeholders, I would like to sincerely thank all the judges for the valuable time they have invested. I would like to thank Dr. McGraw for his exemplary leadership in laying out the foundation for community engaged scholarship. Our work will not be possible without the support of our partners. They inform and shape our work, motivate us to convene resident-informed partnerships. They bring valuable perspectives, experiences, and approaches to our work. We generate ideas together, make collective decisions, and problem solve as a team. President Ruth Watkins' leadership, guidance, and support has been instrumental in us centering the voices and leadership of the community. In our 19-year history, UNP has had 4 remarkable directors: Irene Fisher, Dr. Rosemary Hunter, Dr. Sarah Monroe, and currently Jennifer Mayer Glenn. They strengthened our relationship with the university and community, developed meaningful connections that are mutually beneficial. They have created and fostered safe and trusting environment for all of us to thrive. For the past 19 years, UNP convened authentic partnerships with the community. I can't say enough about our staff. Their cultural humility, understanding, willingness to listen, learn, and teach has been amazing. I would like to also thank our donors. Their generous support made our work meaningful and easy. And finally, I would like to thank APLU staff for their support and ongoing communication. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdulkhalik. Your project is also wonderful. I was able to read more about it, and I know that we all can learn from that long-standing relationship that your university have with those neighborhoods, and gathering that input from them, learning what is it that they really want, and together finding solutions is a great example of what we all can learn about community engaged scholarship. Thank you once again, and congratulations. Our fourth and final Kellogg Award recipient is the University of Vermont for the Connecting Cultures program. Representing University of Vermont is Karen Fondacaro. Karen?
Thank you. This is the University of Vermont behind me. And I would first like to start by thanking the Kellogg Foundation, APLU, and the judges that are here today for really recognizing the importance of community engaged scholarship and their dedication to CES, as I've learned to call it, especially during a worldwide pandemic. It highlights the critical need for communities and universities across the country to really connect with one another. And we know that we need to nurture and continue to grow those relationships. I've had a personal passion for community engaged scholarship for over 35 years. And I'd like to thank the University of Vermont for supporting that passion. And I'd like to say that I've been encouraged by my chairperson, John Green, my dean, Bill Falls, and also our president, Suresh Garamella. I'd also like to thank Lisa Townsend, who's here from UVM, who's helped me through this Kellogg process from step one. All of us at Connecting Cultures thank the Association of Africans Living in Vermont. They're now named AALV because they serve refugees from many, many countries, over 30 countries, and not just African countries anymore. They're our Connecting Cultures partner. So thanks, AALV. We work seamlessly together, and we have a room at the AALV where we provide both research and clinical work. I specifically like to thank the director, Jacoba Bogre, who is the director of AALV, and Tatso Ratseve. And together they're a dynamic duo. Dr. Brandon Gray and Hannah Holbrook started out as interns in Connecting Cultures in the psychology department, or psychological science, as we now call it. And they then stayed on to become postdoctoral students. And they're just wonderful with our refugee and New Americans clients. And Brandon actually attends all the weekly staff meetings at ALV. And unfortunately, he's going to be leaving us, and we're very sad to see him go. Thank you, Brandon, for everything you've done. He's moving on to the World Health Organization work, so we're very proud of him. I'd like to thank the director of our youth services, Dr. Lauren Dewey, who's also here. She's really expanded our services. She's really taking it to new heights. She expanded it to youth services and families, and we now provide mental health services to children and families within this community schools, traumatized youth and parents. The clinical psychology graduate students, they all know how much I love them, and they work with refugees and survivors of torture. And they've continued to do their mental health work, both research and clinical work, through telephone and telehealth during the pandemic. Some have graduated and continued to work throughout the country with different refugee groups, the Congolese, the Iraqi, the Bhutanese, the Somali Bantu, and they really are the cornerstone of our program too. Thank you to our social work department that we also partner with, and they work tirelessly. They help refugees, New Americans by assisting them with employment, housing, and also food security, all the basic needs that are so important. Through our multidisciplinary services, we also partner with physical therapy department and the psychiatry department. But most importantly, I'd like to thank the refugee communities from over 30 countries of origin in Vermont. In little old Vermont, you contribute endlessly to our university and the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, so much. And thank you for addressing us from beautiful Vermont. Thank you to all of you. You can see that there's a diversity of topics addressed, a diversity of people involved. And it reminds me that we are good as a nation, that in spite of whatever is going on in the world, those who have suffered, who have been tortured, we have an open place for them. And for what you are doing, I congratulate you to help the new Americans be able to be successful in this great nation. All of you, congratulations. Thank you. And I want to take a moment and briefly ask all of our Kellogg Award winners to respond to the following question. So let me get my little bowl here, my 4-H bowl. I'm gonna get the question out. How has your community engaged scholarship changed the relationship between the university and the larger community? I'll read it again. How has your community engaged scholarship changed the relationship between the university and the larger community? Let's hear from the Ohio State University first. Dr. Davis.
Well, great question, Jorge. In working with our community, we know many times that universities are seen as the ivory tower. Oftentimes, university is seen as only interested in coming in and studying a problem. And then when the study is over, the university retreats back to the ivory tower. When we first started Life Sports, we were that organization. We were only focused on bringing the kids to Central Ohio, to campus. Don't get me wrong, very powerful influence. However, we weren't working with the community. Our goal has been to change this mindset. Now our outreach, teaching, and research isn't just located on campus, but now it is located in the neighborhoods we serve. Our programs are now co-funded and co-operated in tandem with community organizations throughout Central Ohio. This sustained engagement has built trust in the community. Our history is a perfect example of this effort. First, we have grown from a summer camp to a year-round program because research stressed the importance of booster sessions to stay engaged with our kids. In 2019, we addressed the challenge of only being able to serve 600 kids in our camp on campus by offering a summer program located in a community rec center. This increased our ability to work with the community. This year's challenges with the pandemic grew in May. We canceled our on-campus summer program. We pivoted and joined forces with the Lindy Infante Foundation. Our Sport in a Bag program distributed equipment to kids in their local communities and provided virtual sport lessons for them to practice. We also provided weekly parenting support for our families who are struggling with this new at-home reality. At a time when most were shutting down, we actually enhanced our work with the community. We are just getting started. We hope that through our work, people see Ohio State as a place that fights to support, learn, and create change with the community. Our growing partnership with Ohio State Extension allows us to connect with all 88 counties in Ohio moving forward. And together, we hope to continue to grow our relationship with the community through engaged scholarship. Thank you, Jorge.
Thank you very much for that response. And now on to the University of Memphis. Teresa.
So at its inception in 2016, iMPACT was designed to transform community engagement and research within the University of Memphis. So our Engaged Scholarship is based on a reciprocal relationship between the university and the community. And this relationship is exemplified within the iMPACT project. So for example, in that our faculty and staff and students, we engage in a collaborative and sustained manner with nonprofit organizations and community groups to address the different issues that are faced by the families that we serve. The community has a shared authority within our research process from design to implementation. Therefore, they have a way to influence our scholarly output, such as peer-reviewed publications and collaborative reports. So when we are designing new projects, we bring in community members to help us design those projects to ensure that the service projects and research that we're going to be conducting along with the community is going to meet the needs of the community. And we also have an interdisciplinary structure which brings together local organizations along with our faculty, staff, and students from various academic areas. So our academic areas include nursing, psychology, law, education, public health, social work, communication sciences, disorders, and then professional liberal arts studies, which will bring all these areas together to create a culture of health for the families and children that we serve. And this has strengthened the university's image in the community, as well as offered opportunities for our faculty, students, and staff to share their expertise while gathering hands-on knowledge and experience from our community partners as well.
All right, that's quite interesting, Teresa. It's a fabulous combination of different disciplines coming together to work with the community. Thank you so much. Now, to the University of Utah. How has community engaged scholarship changed the way the university operates within the community? And what has been your experience, Abdul Khalid? Could you share that with us?
Thank you, Jorge. For the past 15 years, I have witnessed remarkable achievements that change how the university and community work together. I have seen the university and community develop authentic relationship that's mutually beneficial. I have seen faculty and community leaders develop curriculums together and co-teach courses. I have seen faculty and residents co-create knowledge by becoming co-researchers around resident-identified issues and become co-authors in published articles. I have seen faculty and community leaders present at a local, national, and international conferences about the importance of community voices and engagement. I have seen community residents feel sense of belonging at the University of Utah instead of just seeing a house on the hill. I have seen the university's commitment to bringing together faculty, staff, and students, and community residents in reciprocal learning, action, and benefit. We say in Somali, "Farshalediya forma digas," meaning one finger alone will not wash your face. When we all come together, we achieve great things. Through this authentic engagement, we were able to become one community that's working together to decrease systemic barriers to higher education and create vital connections and opportunities for everyone. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much. I love that saying too. And the idea of becoming one at the same time that we celebrate the different parts of what becomes one is wonderful. Thank you for sharing those thoughts. We really appreciate that response. Now the same question to Karen of the University of Vermont.
Hi again. Establishing connecting cultures and watching it develop into a multicultural, holistic, culturally responsive program for new Americans has really changed my life. The relationship between the university and the larger community has also changed with many mutual benefits. UVM's a land-grant university, as you know already, with a long history of serving the state of Vermont. But I believe that the UVM's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion has really been enhanced by the relationship between Connecting Cultures and AALV. Students from the refugee communities, undergraduate students, now attend UVM. And graduate students, we actually have a number of graduate students, Lebanon, Myanmar, are in the Connecting Cultures program in the Department of Psychological Science and obtaining their doctoral degrees. So many new programs have sprouted as a result of the relationship between Connecting Cultures and AALV. UVM's Pediatric Immigrant Clinic actually also now has an office right within the AALV building. The community now has numerous fun ethnic celebrations with music and food. UVM students attend, refugees, and of course, ALV staff and the larger community. And this really helps the larger community appreciate diversity and other cultures, differences and similarities. So a lot has changed. The relationship between UVM and the community at large is richer. And refugees from over 30 countries are successfully integrating into our Vermont communities. Some of the faculty and I are working together and sharing our research. And we also plan on developing an institute on immigration and refugee studies in the very near future. This will further enhance diversity and community engaged scholarship between UVM and the larger community. Thanks.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much. And I'm sure audience members today have many more questions for our Kellogg Award winners. And I want to invite you to join us in learning more during APLU's Institutional Strategies for Community Engagement. It will be a webinar on January 20th of 2021. I can imagine the questions you might have. I want to learn more. I want to learn about how this has changed you as a faculty member. And what does it mean to the Scholarship of Engagement? What does it mean for classes you may be able to teach? There's so many questions that I have, and I hope you all have many questions that you can join January 20th, 2021. Stay tuned for information about that webinar. Now, this session will be hosted by Chad Wooten, my dear friends from Texas A&M University, and he will give us the opportunity to learn more from these programs and discuss the future of engagement. We invite you to RSVP by clicking the link in the chat. So look at the chat, click in there and RSVP if you are able to join us. We look forward to seeing you there. I also want to take a moment to encourage all APLU member universities to consider submitting their best example of community engaged scholarship initiatives for the next year set of awards. You have seen what has been presented today. You probably are thinking, well, I could do this. We could submit a project, or there's just a fine tuning that I need to do next year to be able to actually show reciprocal relationship, mutual beneficial relationship, scholarly work resulting from it. Well, get to it and submit your projects for consideration. So stay tuned for the request for applications coming from APLU's Commission on Economic Development and Community Engagement, or CC for short. You can learn more about the Community Engaged Scholarship Award by clicking on the link in the chat, and you can see how it's also shown on the screen right now. Finally, we want to again congratulate these award winners one more time. The awards program has now concluded. It's been a pleasure for me to be with you today once again, and we hope that you have enjoyed this year's conference. And thank you for coming. Let's celebrate engagement together.
Thank you, Jorge.
Adios.